Hello everyone, this is the BRIT Live. I'm Meg McGrady.
And I'm Kieran Taylor-Ford. We're live from the Back to BRIT marquee, where in just a few days' time, celebrations for BRIT Silver will be taking place.
But before that, today we have a very special show based all around Term 5, also known as the community term here at BRIT.
Yes, this time students work on community projects based around helping local schools, charities and members of the public. Coming up on the show,
we take a look at what musical theatre and FMP, film and media production strands, have been doing at the Elms Residential Care Home in East Dulwich.
We'll also find out what inspiring messages the integrated cast presented to hundreds of primary school children when they put together a very large performance in this very tent.
And Bella Barton will perform her premiere and debut single, Daughter, for the very first time for a BRIT Live exclusive.
But first, we pop next door to the Crescent Primary School.
I've been working in the community project for EAL students.
Working with children who are new to speaking English, so they've been speaking English for less than a year and a half.
It's been really good. I've been enjoying it, and I think the kids have been enjoying it as well, and they've learned so much. Today we're kind of teaching the kids a bit of our work that we've put together for them, so we're kind of going to do a play for them, and they're going to be involved.
They're excited, every Tuesday coming to school and asking if they're going to be coming here. They're counting down from Wednesday, how many more days till they're coming back here.
I wrote a song for them, and we've all written a play for them, so it's going to be really sick.
They're mixing with children and forming friendships as well.
Are you ready for your miracle? Are you ready for your blessing? Are you ready for your miracle? Are you ready for your blessing? Are you ready for your miracle? Are you ready for your blessing? Are you ready for your miracle? I made it through, made it through, made it through. And everything I gave to you, I gave to you, I gave to you.
Singing. Ooh la 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 la. 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 Ooh la la la.
Amazing, and that all happened just next door.
Yeah, the field we're stood on right now is in fact shared with the Crescent Primary School.
You may have noticed the absence of Luke in this episode, and that's because he's got a very special audition. So we're proud to welcome Kieran to the team.
Oh, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Indeed, and I know how great it is to be presenting with me.
Sure. No, I'm joking. Across the past few weeks, a group of CAP and theatre students have been visiting the Mind Centre in East Croydon, as well as providing some surprises for certain people in the school. Joe takes a look around.
Today we're here at Mind in Croydon, just around the corner from East Croydon Station, where today a bunch of BRIT School students are performing and getting involved with some members of Mind. Is this the first year you've been involved with this?
It is the first time I've worked with Mind, yeah. Last year I worked on a different community project with another group, but it's the first year I've worked here with Mind.
Is it something you really enjoy?
Yeah, I love it. This is my favourite part of the whole year at BRIT School. I think it's really important for both our students and the people we work with in the community.
How is it different to what you do usually at school?
I think it's just nice to work with different people from such different backgrounds. who've got all different experience in different art forms. I'm used to working with dancers all the time, and it's really nice for all the different parts of the school to come together and share their talents with people in the community.
And how do you think this helps Mind?
I think it's important because it gives the people who come to Mind a different outlet to express like their emotions and like enjoy just like forgetting about whatever's going on like that, you know, for the 2 hours or whatever that they're here. So they can do a bit of dancing, do a bit of singing, and just interact with other people that maybe they don't normally interact with.
So is this BRIT School Mind thing something that happens every year?
It happened last year. It's quite a regular event. Basically, the BRIT School come here as part of their sort of learning and part of the community sort of project outreach, supporting people in the community to express themselves through, I guess, through dance and drama and through singing as well. And it's also aimed to kind of help people who use our service to express themselves through sort of more creative means, really. So it's very therapeutic for people, including staff as well.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us.
Above us only sky.
Imagine all the people living.
Do you enjoy it yourself?
I very much enjoy it. I mean, I find a lot of people, a lot of the time we come in, you know, sort of do the sessions on Tuesdays, and sometimes we're feeling quite lethargic, thinking, oh gosh, you know, have I got the energy for this? But it's in a very short time that, you know, you pick up the energy from the group, sort of, you know, really kind of young, sort of positive energy of people. And you actually find your energy increases, you feel more kind of, you know, you're laughing, you're enjoying yourself, you're smiling, and everybody just feels so much more lighter by the end of a session.
But I'm not the only one.
I hope someday you'll join us.
And the world will be unborn.
Isn't she precious? Less than 1 minute old. I never thought.
So as part of community term, we are doing one-person plays for people across the school who we really think maybe don't always get noticed for the work they do, but it's really important and we want to show our gratitude for that and find out really personally about them and what it is they love. So we found out that she really loved to wear yellow, we found out she really liked Stevie Wonder, so we danced to a remix of one of the songs, and obviously being a librarian that she liked sort of classical books, so we chose to do a scene from The Great Gatsby because obviously it's quite a famous book. And we wanted to do our favourite quotes from our favourite books to sort of show her what we loved about literature.
In this place you can install a lovely bookshelf on the wall.
So that was just, well, unbelievable actually. It was, well, gosh, what a wonderful surprise. Absolutely. Yes, some of the girls interviewed me, asked me what I liked a few weeks ago, and I had no idea what it would. I thought it was for a performance they were thinking of doing, and they wanted a bit of inspiration for it. It was lovely to be asked what I liked as well. Of course, everyone likes to feel special, and then the performance. My gosh, it was great.
I feel absolutely ecstatic. I've never had something as lovely done for me, ever. It's the first time anything like this has happened to me, and I'm enchanted by it. Thank you. I mean, I love this place, I love the school, and I love the students, so not much more to say.
Wow, it looked like they gave Jill an amazing time there.
Anyway, it's great seeing what students have been up to. It's almost as if we're taking part in each community project.
Yes, well, let's look at what the musical theatre and film and media production strands got up to at Elms Care Home in East Dulwich.
Film and media production students are collaborating with musical theatre students to create short films based on the memories of dementia patients at the Elms Care Home. Students visited the residence earlier this month and listened to the stories they had to tell.
I was born in 1929. I'm one of the twins, so there were two of me. The except my twin sister was blonde and she passed away about 4 or 5 years ago. We were very close, but that's just life.
It was really nice, obviously, getting to know lots of different people, and obviously 2 strands came together.
What would you say was the most challenging part of it?
For me, it was to include physical theatre in the performance, as obviously we had theatre students and musical theatre students coming in, and we wanted to do a documentary, but we kind of had to get them involved, so it was like that was kind of like tricky aspect, as I never choreographed anything like that before.
Is there anything you think you'll miss about the whole community project?
I think speaking to Audrey, that's the woman that we actually made the story about. She was really nice to chat to, and she actually wanted us to come by again. Hopefully we get the opportunity. I would like to visit them again. It would be nice to see her. Like I said, she really wants to see us again, and it's like nice to actually catch up with her and see how she does after we show her the movie.
Were there any particular difficulties when working with patients with dementia?
You had to be careful what you say as well. You couldn't actually speak too fast, and then they didn't really answer your questions, so you had to be really careful the way you asked them. And if they kept going and talking about this story, you couldn't like tell them, oh no, stop, go back. We couldn't really get things that we wanted as quickly, and like maybe it would have been easier if they could understand us more clearly and we could understand. I think it got me thinking, as before I didn't really think about dementia, how people will react. And obviously it's sad as they don't remember lots of things that happened in their life before. So it's kind of like nice and to appreciate what we actually do in life. The best part was actually, I think, rehearsals. After we got everything done from the voiceover of Audrey and then start building her story.
I was an evacuee with my sister, and our home was Portsmouth on a coast. So of course Portsmouth got bombed very much during the war. They wanted to move all the young people out and away.
Filming it, we try to obviously make it so it's going to be continuous, so it would be easy for us to edit. However, we have difficulty with lighting that we done. We need to mix up the shots than rather have it all how it was planned out before. We had more than we actually needed because we tried to reshoot it a few times, so we have a variety of different shots. The only thing that I need to do is just color grade it. I think after that the movie is going to look way better than I thought it will be, yeah. As obviously our movie is just about one person, it's only about Audrey. So hopefully she will connect with it as it is her life story. We try to make it as happy as it could be. It's nothing like too sad. So she could actually be happy and rewatch it later on. It wouldn't be just like one-time thing.
We had a very happy life. I came in here and I never thought I would meet so many lovely people.
Wow. Wow. It looks like they had a... Wow. It looks like they had a great time.
Yeah, and speaking to the residents there, it was really interesting and inspirational. So what happened in our next community project?
Well, Jamie visited St. Christopher's Hospice, where students recreated some moments from the patients' lives.
I'm here at St. Christopher's Hospice, where theatre students have been working with some of the patients to put on a powerful and emotional show made up of their favourite moments.
We've got music therapy, arts therapy, drama therapy, and community artists that do things like school projects. It's really lovely to be able to have the patients work with young people and share stories. One of the patients said today that it makes her realize that young people are not just something that you see on TV, on mopeds, or doing bad things, that actually they're just like everyday people.
So at the hospice, we've been working with the patients, like finding out their stories, like memories that mean the most to them, and trying to bring them to life almost. So like patients have been telling us about their Christmases, like birthdays, family holidays have been a big one, and we've been trying to recreate them for them while they have the chance.
Today we've just done a performance that we've been preparing for 5 weeks. We went to the hospice first and we got to know the patients, and based on that we started to immediately start creating what could go in this. For example, the sit down you're rocking the boat part. Iris said from day one that she loved going to see musicals with her husband.
Sit down, you're rocking the boat. The people say sit down, you're rocking the boat.
Like when I started this project, I expected something a lot sadder, as opposed to what I've ended up actually having a fun time.
There's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby.
Wow, such a nostalgic piece. Really great work, guys.
It must have been really inspiring to hear their stories and meet the students firsthand. We're now joined by Ella Balaam, a community arts practice teacher, a former student and newly appointed post-16 manager. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming and joining us. Now, a few days ago in this very big top, 6 different strands. Oh.
No.
No, we're going to interview you now.
We're going to interview you first, and don't steal my line. What community project have you been working on, and can you tell us what it's all about?
So I've been working with Marsh and Willow Day Services, who work with people who suffer from dementia. It's literally just around the corner from BRIT, so we were going there twice a week, and it was a workshop-based project, so we didn't work towards a performance in the end, but the idea was to use performing arts to engage those people in receipt of those services.
Oh, nice. And how has this helped to people you visited?
So I think for the residents, it's about injecting an energy into their week that they might not perhaps be around all of the time, and finding a common ground in terms of the generation gap, definitely.
And has this had an impact on the BRIT students working on the project? Have they learned anything really new or inspiring from it?
Yeah, so in our final feedback session, lots of them really had changed their view on the power of the arts and how they can use their disciplines for other purposes rather than just performance. Lots of them said patience was a massive skill that they developed, and adapting as well, using their art form to engage people in different ways rather than kind of always having to do the same thing every time.
And what did you do as your community project when you were as a student here?
So I was part of a community project working with St Christopher's Hospice, so the project that you just saw. It was the first time the school had ever worked with a hospice, and my teacher at the time was Stuart Warden, who is now the principal, and we embarked on that project together. It was obviously a massive step in terms of putting 16 and 17-year-olds in a position of working with people in receipt of palliative care, but it absolutely changed my life and geared me towards doing the work that I'm doing now.
Exactly. And finally, why are these community projects so important to students here at BRIT?
So I think, as I was saying before, it's about understanding that the arts are for more than one purpose. I think in a practical sense, it offers students more opportunity of how to use their art and use their skill in the wider working world. And I also think it develops a tolerance and a care between people through an art form that perhaps isn't accessible to everybody.
Well, we're all about caring here at BRIT. Thank you so much for joining us, Emma.
You're welcome.
Now, a few days ago, in this very big top, 6 different strands collaborated to put together a new musical specifically for children.
This is Children's Theatre, a project for Term 5 that includes students from a range of performing strands, such as musical theatre, dance, theatre and CAP. These students, led by Simon Stevens and Jodie Clark, are coming together to create an hour-long performance with a wholesome message aimed at primary school children. The company rehearsed for just 4 weeks and managed to put on a great show in the high top 10. The stylised performance was inspired by a skills building class the students did, where they learned different circus themed skills such as juggling, unicycling and walking on stilts. This performance was held on Little People's Day, an event that occurs at the BRIT School every year. a day to encourage young people's interest in performing arts and showcase the many talents of the BRIT School students.
Hey Kieran, did you hear about the circus fire?
What circus fire?
Yeah, I heard it was pretty intense.
Really?
Well, it's better than jangling bangles. Let's look at how Bella, Raga and Katie got along alongside Harris Boys Academy.
These are the years 7 and 8s from Harris Boys Secondary School, who have spent 4 weeks being taught by Kronos, the Year 12 all-male dance group at BRIT.
So this has been our community group. We've been teaching Year 7s and 8s Harris Boys in Peckham. Teaching them dance for 4 weeks to come up to a fun show this week. It's just good to teach boys dance from other boys. Yeah, like normal guys who are the only guy in the dance class. I feel like this is a really good experience for them as well.
Kronos spent just 4 hours with the students at Harris Boys and managed to finish a whole dance routine for their community project. Kronos wanted to use it as a way to encourage a younger generation of boys to express themselves through dance.
The show is trying to fit in, so we've got all the Year 7s to write stories and how they've had personal experience about fitting in. So we've asked them to put their emotions into the kids, like, because they're Year 7s. They've felt these experiences when they've joined the school, so the whole thing's about trying to fit in and trying to find the right group of people to do. It's okay not to fit in well.
The students spoke about what issues are important to them, and this dance had a theme of fitting in and was inspired by the boys themselves. They performed their piece in front of family, friends and staff at the BRIT School, and hopefully left the school with a newfound appreciation for dance.
We'd like to say a big thank you to the supporters of our community projects, the Croydon Partnership.
Yeah, made up of Whitgift Centre and the Westfield. They have helped to fund this term's projects.
We're now joined by the very impressive film and media production student who is performing in today's show, Bella Barton.
Hello.
Hello. So Bella's first single is out on the 28th of July and her album 10 Songs will be released later this year. So as many of the BRIT students are probably in similar positions to you, what advice would you give to other students like yourself who want to get contracts with music producers and record labels?
I think just have confidence in yourself and sort of, if you want to do it, just go for it. Because for me, I was going to try and get into music strand for Year 12 because that's what I wanted to do sort of as a career. But I sort of chickened out because I didn't really have much confidence. So yeah, like after a few months, I realised that FMP is like a sort of hobby. So I started gaining confidence, and I just went for it.
And so, do you think it was harder to get into the music kind of industry whilst not being a music strand?
Yeah, sort of. But I've had a lot of help because my dad's a musician. So he really helped me with that. So.
And from your limited experience so far, what's it been like working in the music industry? Yeah,
it's good. It's good. I wouldn't say that I'm in the music industry, but I would like to be. But I've had a lot of freedom with it, and I really enjoy it so far. So.
Along the terms, have you had a lot of freedom with your own brand, with your record label? Yeah,
definitely. Like I can look how I want, and I write all my own music and stuff, so I have a lot of freedom.
Oh, that's nice. And just to give us a bit of a taste, what can we expect from the song you're going to perform today and your whole album?
As I've said before, they're quite political songs, a few of them anyway, quite feminist songs with a bluesy, folky vibe. So I suppose that's what you could expect.
And why is it called 10 Songs?
It's really hard to pick out the hidden meanings in that title, but the general idea is that there are 10 songs in the album. Yeah.
Oh, and this might be quite an obvious question, but what's your favourite colour?
Do you want to guess, Kieran?
I don't know. Your eyes are like a brownie green. I'm gonna say green.
Yeah. No, it's pink.
And where do you hope in the future that your music takes you?
Yeah, I'd really like to do some festivals. Like, I don't know, I'd love to just play different venues and do a lot of gigs because I love writing music and playing. Yeah.
It's all about the music.
All about music.
Oh wow! Thank you, Bella, for coming on the show. We're super excited to hear your performance later. But moving on swiftly, this is a BRIT FM, Brit's own radio station.
Nobody cares. Okay.
Oh.
BRIT FM is a student radio broadcast where basically we get into teams and have different shows. So like there's BRIT Lunch, which is all about stuff going on at BRIT. There's BRIT Arts, which is all about stuff going on related to BRIT but still outside of BRIT. And then we got like the news shows which come up with news bulletins and stuff. And then we got the Year 10s who do a show. And then we got like BRIT Kids and stuff. So it's just everyone together. And as Mr. P puts it, it's about giving young people a voice. It's peng, in it. That's what he says.
Isn't it Dr. Preston now?
Oh yeah, sorry, Dr.
P.
Preston.
What does your radio show consist of?
Right, well we play music. We play our own music.
Live or like CDs?
Well, that's a very interesting question. That's a very interesting question. We have once the show for a little bit. We have one of the music students will come and do like 2 original songs, and they'll be down in the music studio, and we'll have a live feed from down there to up here, so we can broadcast that live.
Yeah.
And then we'll do an interview with them, and then we also have our on CDs. We have our own songs that we bring in. Yeah.
What would you say is your favourite aspect of BRIT FM?
Well, I've been a producer for longer, and I've always hated presenting and even driving. I did it today and I was like, oh, no, not for me. But I think just producing and watching the students just grow and develop their own sense of voice, and you know, from that moment where you kind of like, oh, you're so annoying at the beginning and you just don't get what I'm talking about, to that moment at the end when they really get it and it clicks, as Mr. Preston will say, then yeah.
I think it'd be nice to speak to former students. Obviously I've only been here a year, so you lot are all I know. It'd be nice to speak to some former FFP or BDC.
BDC, yeah.
There you go.
Old time.
It'd be nice to speak to some of those guys and see what they're up to. And, I think for me it was my first BRIT School experience, one of my first BRIT Schools experience. So I came in about a year ago. I remember being in on Scott's Spin It or Bin It, and you know, getting kind of thrust in on my first day at the school to live radio, and you know, Scott, you know, for all his kind of comic exterior, it was fun to see this kind of students rally together, and when there were problems and kind of solving those problems live. Yeah, it was really good to see.
BRIT FM, it's peng. BRIT FM is broadcasting live 24 hours a day all week until Sunday.
Please never say peng again. It's wrong.
What about lit?
Somehow that's actually worse. Just stop.
What would you rather say?
It's cool.
That's so old school. All right, unfortunately, we're coming to the end of today's show.
But what a better way to close off than with the long-awaited performance of Daughter by Bella Barton.
Walking along an empty bar, catch your eyes, you drive past, and you yell something obscene. Walking along a crowded road, catch your eyes as mine close, 'cause I don't wanna see just how close you are to me. Oh, I could be your daughter.
That was Daughter by the BRIT's very own Bella Barton. Her album is available from the 28th on iTunes and Spotify.
Well, that just about wraps up today. And I have to say, I've had a pretty good time.
That's really good to hear. And you've done a good job. Luke has some pretty solid competition.
Oh, thanks. I might be coming for your job, Luke.
Proper fighting talk there, folks. You'll have to tune in next term to see what he'll be presenting alongside me, Meg McGrady.
And don't forget to join us live this Saturday, the 15th of July, from 12 midday for an Access All Areas view of the BRIT School's Back to BRIT alumni party. Till then, it's a goodbye from me.
Goodbye.